In this lesson, we're going to look at a few miscellaneous expressions that you can perform in Ruby. So let's get started. Let's load the shell. Very commonly in a program, you want to initialize a set of variables to the same value, typically 0. So you do so by writing out the variables and their assignment. A more efficient way to do that is to use a chaining assignment like this. That way all three variables get the same value in a chain. C is assigned 0, B is assigned C's value, and A is assigned B's value. And if we go back and look, all three have the same value, which is 0. Another interesting feature of Ruby is the defined operator, which we can use in an expression to determine what type of identifier we're looking at. So for example, if we want to look at the variable A that we've created here, we can write defined A, and it returns A's type. In this case, it's a local variable. We can do that with printf, and it tells us that it's a method. Or we can even do it with an expression. And it tells us that D equals 1 is an assignment statement, or an assignment expression. So define can be used when you want to look at either a variable, an expression, or just in general an identifier to determine if that identifier already has some sort of value or meaning in your program. The last miscellaneous expression I want to look at is a more efficient way to do a variable swap. Very often in programming, you'll have a situation like this. You have variables that hold values and you want to swap those values. For example, if you're doing some sort of sorting, and let's say we're going to sort in descending order, we want A to have the higher value and B to have the lower value. The way we would do that is we'd introduce a new variable, temp, so that now where A was 12 before, A's value is now 24 and B's value is now 12. A more efficient way to do that is using something called parallel assignment. It looks like this. A comma B equals B comma A. So what you essentially have is A comma B is assigned the values of B comma A. So now A's value is back to 12 and B's value is 24. So you have a swap effect without having to introduce a third variable temp. So parallel assignment is very useful in programming, and you'll use it a lot when you're doing sorting type applications. So that wraps up this lesson on miscellaneous expressions. We've looked at chain assignment, the defined expression, and parallel assignment. And with that, we're ready to move on to our exercise for this chapter.